Hello and welcome to Cargo Masterminds, a weekly episode every Monday where I catch up with the best global air cargo mind who leads teams that move cargo, facilitating international trade in a one-to-one interview. My name is Reggie John. I'm the editor of Stat Media Group, a global transport and logistic media company that publishes the Stat Trade Times, Indian Transport and Logistic News, and Logistic Update Africa. This is a very special episode of Cargo Masterminds because we have in our show the man who heads the largest cargo airline in the world. The ascent to the pole position was tough for this carrier, but more rapid than expected, despite severe adversities that included a more than 3-year-old blockade that prevented it from flying over its neighboring airspace, making its operations prohibitively expensive. And then the COVID pandemic, which made things even worse. But sheer determination and perseverance, along with the collective will of the airline, made it to the top of the chart. Qatar Airways Cargo today is the world's largest cargo carrier by freight ton kilometers. And going by the latest numbers, it carries close to 10% of the world's total air cargo volume. It's my pleasure to welcome Guillaume Halleux, Chief Officer Cargo at Qatar Airways, to this special episode of Cargo Masterminds. Guillaume, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Reggie. It's very good to see you again. It's been a while. Unfortunately, there's a screen between us, but always happy to talk to you.
Guillaume, given the limited time that we have, I like to speak with you on two important topics that are so critical to taking Qatar Airways Cargo where it is today in global ranking. Those two critical topics are aggressive and ambitious digital transformation initiatives and innate social responsibility with a sustainable outlook to balance the 3 Ps: planet, people, and profit. On to my first topic and to the first question. Can you give us a sense of the aggressive and ambitious digital transformation push at Qatar Airways Cargo, particularly during the pandemic where the industry really felt the urgency of digitalization like never before?
That's a very vast question to begin with, Reggie. So first, I'd like to make one comment. Digital transformation is a term that everybody uses. I like to stay away from it because we're just not there. I'm talking about Qatar Airways Cargo. Let's be very honest. This is a long path, and this is a complicated path. So for us, digital implementation into our business consists of a number of initiatives. Most of them are unseen from the outside. Most of our digital improvement or transformation would be internal, would be behind the curtain. That would be back office activities, that would be automation, that would be some artificial intelligence, which is another term that is being used by a lot of people. You could also say algorithms. So mathematics to really help the user make the right decision. So you would have that in operation, you would have that in customer management, CRM, for example, you would have that in operation as well. And let's not forget in warehouse, in optimization of your resources in a warehouse, in the hub. All of that is not visible to the outside. So we've engaged down that road quite some time ago. That was before COVID. This is not a COVID initiative. And what is very visible is actually the distribution channel part, which is what we're talking about today. So that part is only one element of our digitalization project. It's of our roadmap, let's say, and it by far it is not even the biggest piece. The biggest piece is internal. So where we are today is rolling out our digital distribution of capacity and price with the partnership with WebCargoNet, and we are extremely happy and thrilled to go down that road with WebCargoNet. But let's not forget that a lot more is happening internally with the help of technology that simply was not available 3-5 years ago.
Guillaume, can you give us a sense of what else is really happening? I know there are a lot more of things happening in detail at the back end. Can you kind of detail some of them?
So yeah, I can give you a few examples. Obviously, the most common ones would be, for example, dynamic pricing, which is the idea of having technology to help you have the most refined price to increase your chances of conversion. So that would be the lowest granularity possible for one customer on a day of the week, flight specific, OND specific. What price would you like to price your capacity in that scenario? Today, our level of granularity is not bad, but it is not precise enough. As a large carrier, as you have mentioned, the economies of scale are absolutely massive. So if we were to improve on certain trade lanes, our yield performance by, let's say, 1%, only 1%, you're already looking at the scale of our organization at multiple millions of dollars of impact for the benefit of the company. If you do this wrong, this becomes a risk. So you'd be looking at multiple millions of dollars of possible losses. So dynamic pricing is one example. The CRM activities, which is really well developed in the market today, is another example. I'll give you one more, which is, for example, deployment of handheld devices in our operation at the loading stage of pallets in our freighters, for example, to minimize the risk of loading errors. Those are very tangible, very concrete initiatives that we are, for some of them, exploring, for some of them we are quite advanced, and for some of them we are deploying.
Guillaume, you did make a mention about your recent partnership with Web Cargo by Freighters, and you placed it
Mhm.
in context of your bigger vision of digitalization at Qatar Airways Cargo. So this above partnership and above service is going to be launched in phases, and the first phase is to be rolled out in France, Germany, Italy, Netherlands, South Africa, and Spain on the 7th of February. What made you to choose these markets for the launch of this service?
So it's a combination of reasons, really. We are piloting with those countries based on the maturity of those countries when it comes to e-bookings, the maturity of our relationship with our customers, again, when it comes to e-bookings, the maturity of our teams, and our own ability to push and develop that distribution channel in those countries. Not to say that other countries are not mature, but we felt those countries would gather more success factors to begin with, because again, it is a pilot and we need to learn as we go. This is a drastic change for us. Digitalization of distribution is not new to Qatar Airways. We had e-bookings on our own web-based services on our web portal for quite some years already. As a matter of fact, in the world, 1/3 of Qatar Airways bookings come to us via our website. It's not nothing. In some countries, that ratio is 85, 90, 95%. In your country, Reggie, in India, our level of e-bookings is way above 85%, close to 90%, because this is a market practice in India, and it is not the case everywhere. We see other countries where that channel is not being utilized at all. We've also worked very strongly in line with Web CargoNet and their footprint in those countries, and we felt that those 6 countries would be the best place to pilot and to test and learn.
When do you expect to have it launched also in India?
So we'll go. You know, you don't want to mix up going fast and rushing, right? So we want to go fast, but I don't want to rush. You know me, I've always been a very cautious personality. I'm okay with baby steps. So right now, what I can tell you without making false promises is we're rolling that out on February 7th. That's going to happen. Step 2 is prepared, is ready, is on hold. We want to see what's going to happen with the pilot, and then we'll see how we go. So India is planned. I am not in a position to tell you today, for obvious reasons, when we're going to do it in India, but we have a rollout plan for the world of an e-booking push. Right. So Web CargoNet is a platform that brings a lot of value to their customers, to airlines and to freight forwarders. Our website also brings value to us and to our freight forwarders. So we want to continue to drive both side by side, and we want to have a very pragmatic approach and be be very down to earth as of, what is the next logical step. So we'll roll that out that way.
Guillaume, do you have any approximate deadline as to by when do you will have the entire global network on this platform or a combination of these kind of platforms?
I have an idea that I will just keep for myself for now.
Fair enough, Guillaume. Is the current partnership with Web Cargo by Freighters exclusive for a time period or for a geography? And will Qatar Airways cargo be open to, or will that capacity be made available in other similar online platforms or online digital freight market platforms?
So, no, it is not exclusive. We would be quite presumptuous to assume that we alone can change the world and can change market habits. We believe very strongly in WebCargoNet. They have a beautiful, wonderful product, which at this stage was assessed to be the best platform for us to launch. However, we are keeping our options open, and we will definitely consider expanding that experience to other platforms if needed. So there's no exclusivity that would prevent us from making moves whenever it makes business sense for Qatar Airways.
Something related to the next question, but not very specific. But did you time the launch of this service? And in the beginning of this year, on the 1st of January, you had the 3777 brand new 777 production freighters landing in Doha. You have today 30 freighters in your fleet. You're the largest cargo carrier in the world. Did you time the launch of these things to kind of give that value proposition to the global air cargo customers?
I would love to say yes, but the reality is no. No, what we did not time was the delivery of the 3 freighters that you just mentioned on January 1. Those freighters were delayed for technical reasons and got to us a bit late. We would have loved to have them before the peak season, obviously. But okay, now they're here and we're very happy. So the timing of this rollout with WebCargoNet, with WebCargo by Freightos, is really the timing that we managed to do in a secure way, making sure that there will be very minimal issues or no issues at all, and that we are absolutely ready to roll it out. If we had been ready 6 months ago, we would have rolled it out 6 months ago. Mind you, 6 months ago, we were busy with other things, right? So COVID did put a bit of delay in our plan, because this plan is from before COVID. And as I said, we were busy doing what we did during COVID, for which we're very, very proud, because we emerged from the COVID crisis as clearly one of the carrier that supported this industry the best and the most, with 180 cargo flights per day at the peak of the peak. So while we were busy doing that, of course, the rollout of e-channels had to be postponed slightly by a few months. So now we have a firm date, and I'm very, very happy that we are finally there.
My last question in this particular topic is your pilot project on the IATA one record. How would you like to place another, but again, a recent completion of QR Cargo's pilot project of one record by IATA along with Champ Cargo Systems and Agility?
Mm-hmm. So for us, both work, right? I mean, you don't need to make a choice. Is it only marketplaces, or only your website, or only one record? All of that, there is a place for all of those options in the market. We just want to be the carrier that is prepared to answer any technological need coming from our customers, because today we have obviously a number of customers on the planet, and all of them have different views and different strategies. So we don't want to be the carrier that says, you know what, I've picked that option, and you will only have to use that option if you want to trade with me. We want to keep every option possible. So we do host to host, we do direct API with our system. We do now marketplaces. We have our own website. We are ready for one record. We were one of the first one ready for XML technology a few years back. So this has always been the philosophy of Qatar Airways, because frankly, who can tell us today which technology will prevail tomorrow? No one. We all have opinions, but no one knows.
Guillaume, how strongly do you believe that the future of freight is digital?
Very strongly, extremely strongly. And it's not even me saying, it's just the trend. It's what's happening in the world. COVID has only accelerated the digitalization wave that was already in place, not only in air freight, in every other industry. Air cargo will not escape it. Air cargo was late to the game because air cargo is a fragmented industry with different interests from the various players of that industry. That is my analysis of the situation. But look at what's happening. Web cargo by Freightos was the first one. And then other alternatives popped up, and another one, and another one. And those alternatives, will be followed by others because technology is moving on. It is now cheaper, faster to build up technology to serve our industry. And today we're talking about distribution channels, we're talking about marketplaces, we're talking about e-bookings, but tomorrow we'll be talking about way more things in our industry. We'll be talking about technology serving the air freight industry by other aspects as well, not only by distributing price and capacity. That is coming. And one of the main reasons why we chose web cargo by Freightos, I want to be very clear, is because we share that vision with the executive team of web cargo by Freightos, with SV, with Manel. We do share the vision that this step is only a first step, and there's a lot more to come. So obviously, Qatar Airways is big. Big doesn't mean much really in my mind. But when Qatar Airways does something, when we engage into an action, I can tell you we do it fully. And we will just not stop at putting our capacity on the marketplace and wait for customers to book. We will engage our sales force to actively drive the penetration of that technology in the markets where we are piloting. That's why we're opening only with 6 countries and not globally as a big bang. We are absolutely determined to push it and to be an active force in developing the digital in our industry. As an example, we are offering a discount. Part of the pilot program, we're offering an average of 6 cents per kilo discount. If you call Qatar Airways office, you will be given the best price possible, but if you go online, that price will be beaten. It will be lower by an average of 6 cents, depending on OND, depending on constraint lanes and so on. But the average of what we're offering is 6 cents per kilo. That's not small. We're doing that for the first 20,000 shipments, Reggie. So I'm not doing like a weekend promotion. We're doing a promotion that's going to last quite some time. 20,000 shipment is not nothing. Even at the scale of Qatar Airways, it's not nothing. And that's only for 6 countries. So this is an example of how we're going to drive it. And there will be a lot more activities coming up to push that technology and to increase as much as possible users' adoption.
Guillaume, I have certainly no doubt about how Qatar Airways Cargo actually sets a global benchmark, and particularly in the digital transformation. As you grow bigger, I think the responsibility also becomes even higher. That brings me to the next topic of the discussion, which is sustainability and social responsibility. It's been significant that in the midst of the pandemic, you launched the Cargo We Care project. And the first chapter, you call it that this campaign has, or this initiative has different chapters. And the first chapter was the offer to carry 1 million cargoes by the end of 2020, which is entered. Can you give us your assessment of this project? How did it go in the first chapter? You closed the first chapter. How do you look back at this initiative?
Okay, so first, We Care was invented before COVID. We Care was invented when Qatar Airways Cargo became the largest carrier in the world. That was 2019. So then we had 2 options. of course you're proud about it, right? So you want to communicate and you want to make a bit of noise. That's natural. And also we've got teams to motivate. So in order to celebrate that milestone, we had two options. Either we could have gone into the bragging mode, we are the number one and we are the biggest one, or we could have gone another direction, which is what I decided to do, which was, okay, great job. This is not final. This is not what, a target in itself. However, now that we are the largest carrier in the world, it comes with responsibilities, the responsibility to lead by example. And we came up with a number of initiatives and we clubbed them under a program that we called We Care. Then COVID hit. So that project, was put on pause for a while, and we finally were able to launch our episode 1 or chapter 1, the 1 million kilo project in the summer, giving 1 million kilo free of charge to our forwarders, to our customers, for them to donate to the charity of their choice. And we gave them 6 months to do so. It was a beautiful project. It worked really well, created a lot of buy-in from our staff and a lot of team building. So we used it internally as well in order to generate some pride in our company. I'm a bit sad at the end of it, Reggie, to be frank, because while some customers were so excited about it and they were very happy to play with us and to really engage and to donate, and to even most of them donated their ground services free of charge to the same charity, and so it was an end-to-end free of charge service for the charity. A number of them didn't really pick it up, to be frank. Too busy, not believing in it, I don't know. But I would have expected that everybody would jump on an occasion like this, because it costs you not much, if not nothing, to do some good. Right. So some of that 1 million kilo would have gone to waste if we had not, towards the end of the year, picked it up ourselves and decided to do further donations. So we did that. But hey, it's the reality of the world. This is not stopping us, though. So we will pursue, we will continue. And now we have chapter 2 coming up.
Okay, so at the end of it, you had the 1 million kilos carried.
Yes, we had the 1 million kilos carried, because the leftovers that were not utilized by freight forwarders, we proactively utilize them into our own donation.
Okay, Guillaume, coming to the last question and into the next chapter, we are already into the 2021. The first month of 2021 is almost coming to an end. You intend to launch the second chapter of We Care sometime next week. Give us a little more details about what is the chapter 2, and you call it Rewild the Planet.
Rewild the planet, because everybody loves animals. We all do love animals and wild animals. So we chose wildlife as the second topic of our We Care program, maybe to give a bit of diversity in the news today, because everybody's talking pandemic, everybody's talking vaccination, everybody's talking pharma. And we thought that, addressing the wildlife topic would be a bit of a fresh air in our industry. So the story is fairly simple. There are a number of NGOs out there and associations that really do their best to move wild animals back to their natural habitat. And this is a challenge. I mean, I've talked to a lot of them. I've engaged a lot of these people. They are amazing people. They volunteer. They spend a lot of their time, of their personal money, trying to move animals back to wildlife. Animals that have been taken away from wildlife to be used by us, as entertainment for the most part. And when they try to do that, the biggest hurdle after approvals and administration authorities, the biggest hurdle is the cost. So we came up with that project where if you want to ship a wild animal back to its natural habitat, then we will move it free of charge for you. We will move it free of charge because we believe that by having that offer out in the market, it will stimulate demand. I am pretty sure, I am convinced that some organizations will actually move, will actually click and will, from thinking about it, will actually act, because they know that burden is not there anymore. So we're starting that, and we're very proud about it. And I look forward to our first shipments, really, that will be coming hopefully in the coming weeks or months.
Guillaume, do you have already a request from any of the NGOs? Do you launch the event next week with the first shipment?
We do not have a request part of the Rewild project yet because it's not public yet. It will be launched on the 1st of February. I do expect a number of solicitations then at that moment, and we will do our utmost to entertain them positively and favorably. It's a good thing. You're putting wild animals that have been, most of them, not in their natural place, back to where they belong. And it's fun. At the end of the day, Reggie, when you do air cargo, when you move boxes and skids and so on, giving a sense of purpose to what you do is key. It feels good to all of us. It also feels good for our staff, for our colleagues, because then you're doing something right. And I can tell you that with the 1 million kilo, those charity shipments were handled as VIP shipments. Nobody wanted to miss a piece, to lose a kilo, to have a missing cargo. It was like all spotlights were on them, just because we wanted to do something right. And it's going to be the same with those wild animals, I am convinced.
Thanks, Guillaume. Giving a sense of purpose to what you do, I think that's the best way to conclude this conversation with you, and really appreciate spending your time and talking and sharing your thoughts in the show Cargo Mastermind.
Thank you very much, Reggie. Good talking to you, and I hope I'll see you in person next time.
That was Guillaume Halleux, Chief Officer Cargo at Qatar Airways, talking to us in the Cargo Mastermind episode. Join us again next week on Monday with another episode of Cargo Mastermind with another special guest. Thank you.